After researching both general and genre-specific conventions, I was able to recognise areas in our own video that we could incorporate these conventions into. We began with planning our idea fully, taking influences from previous Atomic Kitten videos, including It's OK and other current groups like the Saturdays, for outfit and location inspiration. Atomic Kitten tend to follow most common conventions, such as incorporating lip-syncing and direct gaze into the concept and/or narrative, and reflecting the male gaze theory through the use of tight and revealing clothing, with the camera often panning across the body to objectify the members. Because we evidently saw this, we thought it would be appropriate to apply these elements to our production. The outfits that we decided upon were thought of with great care. The performance outfits have been greatly influenced by other female pop groups, like Atomic Kitten themselves, the Sugar Babes and Girls Aloud. All these groups will often be wearing smart dresses and heels in their videos, with heavy makeup and styled hair. If there are other setups, then sometimes a more casual outfit will be shown too. We have incorporated both of these styles into our video, as we used 2 formal dresses and 1 casual outfit for the performance footage. We used 2 styles of dresses each, 1 blue and 1 black, and then we wore floral and patterned clothing for the casual shots. We mixed up the outfits to provide a visual range and to keep the audience from getting bored. We took particular inspiration for the casual outfits from the original video for It's OK, as they are wearing headbands and floaty tops to fit in with the beach location. Because one of our locations was a wooded area, we thought it would work effectively if we wore floral clothing to reflect the natural hippie theme associated with woodland. We feel that this worked well as it broke up the formal side and added a more relatable casual side to the video. The narrative outfits were also decided upon after a long discussion. Again, there were 3 outfits for this section, yet this time they were all relatively casual to provide a sense of realism. Because the narrative was split into past and present, there were 2 outfits for the past and 1 for the present. We used 2 outfits for the past scenes, 1 for the outside shots and 1 for the inside shots, for both the boy and the girl. The inside outfit was the most formal out of all 3, as it was worn for the romantic meal setup, so therefore we felt it would be appropriate for the boy to be wearing a shirt and for the girl to be wearing a nice top and skirt. The outside shot was the most casual, as this was worn for the dog walk setups, meaning the clothing needed to be appropriate for outdoors, and because it had been raining the paths were muddy, hence the need for wellies. We thought that because of the cold weather and wet scenery, there was a greater sense of realism portrayed, as it made it easier for the audience to relate to the characters and situation. The present outfit was another simple and ordinary outfit, and the characters were in a house wearing normal clothes, so the audience would definitely be able to relate to these scenes, even if there was no romantic narrative, and it was just the outfit shown on screen. To an extent, we have applied the male gaze theory to our video. The dresses that we wore were different, with some being low-cut and others being tight and bodycon, and for the hippie outfit we wore tight jeans and shorts and vests and crop tops. Because we were limited for choice, we chose the outfits that we thought would look most effective on camera, whilst also considering what clothing would reflect the male gaze theory the most. In the editing of the video, we included some close-ups which showed off our bodies. However, because the target audience is 12 to 24, we did this in moderation to accommodate the younger girls' viewing. Despite this, there is objectification used in some parts of the video, with some shots being more subtle than others. For example, the shot at the end of the group walking away begins as a slight pan up their lower bodies, then as they move away from the camera they fully come into shot. With our chosen locations, we challenged what you would typically expect to see in a girl group video. The pop genre tends to be centred around urban themes, with gritty backstreets widely used by both female and male artists. For example, Blue's One Love video, which provides street credibility for the boys. However, in contrast to this, we shot both our performance and narrative footage in rural areas. This was mainly due to accessibility and timescales, as we had very little time to complete the video, so we needed to ensure that if we were to need any last-minute footage, we could easily access the same location that day and with no transport. The areas in which we live are rural, which also meant that there were many possible locations to choose from which would not be interrupted by other people. For the narrative section, we used one of our own houses, which was further out than what we had wanted, yet this house provided us with the most scope and more location opportunities. Because of this, we planned the narrative shoot thoroughly and carefully to make sure that we would not need to reshoot any of this footage and have to rearrange transport at the last minute. Most of the feedback we received praised the rural aspect of the video, so we feel that by challenging the common conventions, we actually created a video with more of an impact on the audience. To add more emotional pleasures to our video, as spoken about by Rick Altman, we used a particular style of editing to convey the romantic narrative clearly. Pop music videos tend to be edited to fit the tempo and style of the lyrics, and because the lyrics are romantic, we thought that it would be best to leave slightly longer takes than what you would expect to see in an upbeat dance video, as it portrays the romantic element more effectively. The use of mise-en-scene further allowed us to convey the romantic theme as we focus on the exchange of the roses and a necklace in the video, and then reuse the petals of these roses again later. We needed to make sure that these props were not the total main focus points so as to overrule the rest of the video, yet they still needed to be clear enough for the audience to pick up on through preferred reading as explained by Stuart Hall. The transitions we chose were also picked up with consideration, as these also needed to fit in with a soft editing style. We used many fades and created a transition out of some existing shots that we had. We had a shot zooming into water and a zoom out to show the duck pond, so we put these two shots together to create a new transition rather than using a pre-installed fade or zoom out. We received great feedback from this transition, so we decided to keep this and use it in our final video, as it worked effectively and looked professional. Layering has also been featured many times in our video, as this again fits in well with the theme of the video and our editing style. We layered performance shots onto narrative shots, as it added visual variety and made some shots, particularly scenery shots, more effective. Compared to other existing romantic pop music videos, we have tried to edit our video appropriately and similarly to how these videos are cut, as we wanted to make it as realistic and believable as possible.